And we're back. Thank you for watching Happy Hour on the Jorge Show. And I'm here with the fabulous photographer, Sophia Renee. And we were kikiing a little bit earlier because we had to catch up first. And there are a couple of points I want to make, and especially to all my lady friends too, about running your business, okay? So I'm going to have Sophia explain, because I had some questions. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm a little bit confused in a way, because there's Sophia Renee Photography, and then there's like Unique Portrait Services. So explain to us, what all that is about so that we're very clear.
Okay. Well, Unique Portrait Services is the business aspect of my art.
Okay.
Unique Portrait Services is the rates, the information that anyone needs, and the proper avenue, I guess, to go through in order to book a photo shoot with me.
Okay.
So it's actually how I generate revenue.
Exactly.
Sophia Renee Photography is just the kind of umbrella over the whole artistic endeavor.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, and I'm glad you said it that way. Remember, I love a lady about her business. So you have Sophia, the Fierce Fabulous Photographer, and her work and all her fierceness. And then, if you want to get down to business, then you have your business side, Unique Portrait Services.
Right, because I'm a photographer for hire first and foremost.
Right.
I'm not just an artist creating images. We all need to make a living.
Yeah, seriously. No, it's important. No, I preach it to them all the time. I'm like, I got to get your business right. Because there's a difference between front end, you're all fierce and fabulous, and then you're like a mess. And it's like, okay, that's not going to be key for you.
You need to make money.
Thank you.
You need to make money. I mean, we need to eat.
Coin management.
We need to eat.
Okay, so we have Nick, who is like your muse, all right?
Yes,
he was one of the first males, or the first male that you started taking pictures of, right?
He was definitely one of the first.
Okay.
He wasn't the first, but he definitely sort of became a kind of muse to me, I think, after the first photo shoot. He currently represents the largest compilation of a single individual in my entire professional portfolio.
Well, and I've seen those images, and he looks like a different person in every single picture.
That's why I love him.
And he's going to take off his clothes right now. You're just kidding.
He's very mutable. He's got a very interesting way about him. He's very graceful, and he's very handsome, obviously, but it's more than that. There's something about him that I find very interesting and very fascinating, especially as an artist. I'm capable of taking him and kind of changing him, and he's always open to being creative, and he's always open to my ideas, and he's fearless, and he's confident. And
that's awesome. Now, how does it feel when someone says, he's my muse, and that you've been used? And this huge body of work that's just getting rave reviews.
It's daunting. I don't think I ever that much attention on me, especially growing up. But I was definitely ready for that challenge when it came to Sophia, because I trust her so much. With
so because you are a creative person too, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I know you can sing, and I know that you also are a stylist. Do you think that helps with just getting comfortable and trusting somebody else to lead the way with the creativity?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because within her vision, it's just a performance, and that's probably where the singing, the performing comes in. And then as far as being a stylist goes, I understand the creativity that I have to let go of as a subject.
See, because that's tough for me. I'm real control freak when it comes to the creativity. So I gotta really trust the bitch if she wants to take control of me.
Well, I think I totally get the kind of apprehension that some people might have about having their photograph not just taken, but then suddenly splashed across someone's website and social networking. And the response to my work with him was immediately, it was immediate. There was an immediate response to it. It wasn't something that kind of faltered in my portfolio for a while and then found a life later. The first images that I shot of him were very casual. We did some stuff in Ybor City that was really sexy and very interesting, but it was more Nick, just kind of being himself. Now the second shoot that we tackled was a sailor-themed shoot.
Yeah.
And we shot that in black and white. And the response to those images was immediately positive. I think that's when I started to kind of notice a shift in how my work was being viewed, I guess, because it was those images that first really took off, and everybody wanted to know, who was this guy? And I continued to shoot him as the year went on, and I've continued to shoot him up until recently. And every single time I shoot him, it's something different. Even when I'm shooting him just being himself, because we do have a body of work that is candid, he still seems like a very different person in every shoot that I've done with him, which I find fascinating. And I've built an entire conceptual series around him called Anthology.
I know, like he's got like 100 pictures.
There's
or more,
I
or
mean,
something like that.
There's actually, I've got thousands of pictures of him, a lot which,
The
many
hair
of
is
which
always
have not
different,
been released.
The look is always different. You know, I'm like comparing notes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like, does he eat, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's pictures and stuff like that. And B, like you said, like you were like an Ybor and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know, because the thing is, you know, being, you know, a boy from Tampa, you can pick up, oh, that's Ybor City, that's, you know, downtown Tampa or whatever. But, like, you made it a way where you can't even really identify where this place is.
It's pretty ambiguous, yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to intentionally be that way. I mean, a lot of my work will be credited. I'll state on the work where it was actually shot. And I do that, I think, maybe to draw a little bit attention to our local kind of history and our local flavor, because
Right.
we have a lot of it here.
Absolutely.
But I don't want the average person in Chicago to look at this area and kind of know what it is instinctively and be more fascinated by the environment
Yeah.
as opposed to the person in the image.
Totally.
I want the environment to be a part of the image. But first and foremost, I want the person in the image to stand out. I want them to be the focus.
Well, it's true now. I mean, is it difficult for you, like, always being the focus?
No, I can. I mean,
He loves it.
yeah.
He
Just to
actually
be
loves the
honest, I mean,
attention.
who doesn't like some attention?
I mean, do you
know?
ever get like if you're walking down the street and someone says, "Hey, isn't that who was in the you know all that like you know?"
Has that ever happened to you?
Has that happened to you?
Nobody
I
outright,
don't
nobody
believe that.
outright
Okay.
vocalizing
Yeah,
it,
he's
but
trying to be
I
all
know.
Keep it cute. You gotta do that. I mean, they do it on Twitter and stuff. You know, I know. I was getting some text messages. Did you see? And that's kind of like the.
That definitely happened a lot with him. You know, people at first, I don't think were expecting it. When I first met Nick, I was introduced through a mutual friend. And what I immediately knew that I wanted to photograph him. Immediately, like within a few minutes of just meeting him and talking with him casually. And that doesn't always happen. It happened with him because the thing that drew me to him and that always kind of keeps me coming back is that he does have a very sort of he has a refinement about him, a kind of gracefulness that translates well on camera. He's a wonderful friend. I mean, through the course of working together, we've become great friends, and I've come to just really care about him a great deal, and he's just a wonderful person. But he still has always kind of walked with that kind of refinement, that gracefulness that I really find missing in a lot of men. A lot of men that I photograph.
Who is she with there?
Well, no. I mean,
it's true. No,
a
I'm
lot
backing
of.
you up 100.
I mean, I love a lot of the men that I photograph. I love the edginess and the ruggedness and stuff. But and there is a place for that in everything that I do. But sometimes you just kind of have to find that one person that has that something that's a little bit different, that's a
Right.
little more refined, that's not quite as edgy, not quite as, you know what I mean? And that's where he came in. And that's why I
Kind
was
of
able.
like it's like then you get that finesse.
I describe it as an actor. To me, he's like an actor.
Do you feel like an actor?
Yeah,
Sometimes?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, when that lens is on there, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, a lot of my models are models, and they know what they're doing and they look beautiful in an image. But when I'm shooting him, he seems more like an actor. He feels the character that I've kind of created for him, and we kind of go over the concept before shooting. And he just kind of rolls with it. I mean, he comes alive. He
That's the
builds
fun
this
part.
character.
That is. You just you let go and you hit it, and then
Yeah.
you know the results are obviously what all of you are gonna are looking at.
Right.
Now, Nick, is this something that you think you want to continue to pursue, or is this something that you're doing for your friend Sophia? Has anyone else tried to holler at you? And then how would you feel if somebody else wanted to claim him? Okay, you answer the question
I
first.
would not be a happy camper. I wouldn't be a happy camper. Back off.
Right?
No,
are you like exclusive? Are we talking contracts? What's that?
Before Sophia, I'd never been in front of a lens the way that she's kind of portrayed me. I grew up with the fantasy of acting or modeling, and yeah, that would be amazing, absolutely amazing. But as for right now, I'm a lot of other things before I'm a model. So.
Well, one thing you are is a wonderful friend to this fabulous photographer, and that's totally quite evident, in this whole situation. And I think that's what really makes it work, is that there is something very special between you and your muse, and it translates. And then it also translates with all of your other, friends who kind of was at the beginning of this climb with you, and now you're booking professionals.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see how those relationships, grow in your career. If there was a message you had to send out to, that little boy or that little girl who is, striving, to be that creative person in the world of photography, with all the hardships that the days, bring, what would be your message to them?
Well, I think you have to believe in yourself first and foremost, and you have to believe in your own ability. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there. Not everyone is going to love your work, and that's just the bottom line. And not everyone has to, and not everyone's going to get it.
Y'all better be listening for real.
And not everyone's going to get it. But it's not really important for me to be accepted by everyone. It never really was. I'm not that person that needs to fit in. I've always kind of thought of myself as a kind of outside thinker, someone that thought outside of the box. And I'm very confident, and I'm confident in my abilities. So even though I recognize that some of my work might be stronger than other portions of my work or other parts of my portfolio, I still put it all out there because I'm not afraid to have someone tell me, oh, this is great, but there's something over here. That's kind of what happened with my photographs of men. I was doing a lot of architectural photography, and I was doing a lot of pictures of females and some men, but the men seemed to be the focus of everyone's attention. So for whatever reason, I went with that, and it's kind of my niche. It's kind of my niche. But I think that if I had a message, it would be you just can't be afraid to put yourself out there and to believe in yourself. Not everyone's going to get what you're doing, but as long as you're happy and you're making something that you can be proud of, I think that's all that matters.
Well, that's fantastic. I think that's a wonderful message. And like I've been telling all of you, this has been like in the works for so long. And I'm flattered, and I'm just so happy that we could finally get you on the show. I know how busy you are.
Well, thank
and
you.
I know
I'm
like
really happy
your
to be
writer
here.
came with all kinds of like, I had to have like, vanilla, scented candles. I had to have like,
It wasn't that bad.
I'm like, God, and of course, it's been very difficult for me to keep my eyes up here and not there. So thank you for, because that is very distracting. No, thank you so very much.
Thank
Again,
you.
big fan of your work.
Thank you so
and
much.
I'm so happy that I can share your work. And thank you so much for being here too. Congratulations on this wonderful relationship. And I wish the two of you continued success.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
we're still gonna, this is
Yes.
just, this is just a little kiki time to visit. Like she's still gonna be like a happy hour looping and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So
Well,
thank you very much. And
I had
good
a
luck.
wonderful time.
I know. I
Thank you.
can't
So
wait
much
to have you
fun.
back.
Yes,
And
thank you.
again, tweet us anytime.
I will.
Or let us know what you're up to.
I
and
will.
we will make sure that all the viewers out there
I
can keep
definitely
track of
will.
you as well.
Thank you. I've had so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. It's the Jorge Show, and it is happy hour. We'll be right back, and we're going to mix and mingle.